to over my hip line. Even fighting against the heaviest guys in the planet, you can stretch your leg pretty easy on diagonal, of course, over your shoulder. Because if you stretch your leg over your head like this, doing that kind of, following that kind of way, the guy will like roll over your shoulder. It's gonna be pretty tough for you to come up. But if you sweep him to that side, to the side you are holding the sleeve, it's gonna be pretty easy to come up and get 2 points. So what is the main idea here? So we have De La Riva, reverse De La Riva hook, lasso, my knee is on the shoulder, framing him, like keeping this position tight, my hand on the collar. We switch the concepts by just holding him to wide open my elbow and bringing him over my own body. So main idea, bring my knee towards my chest, head, his head over my headline and hip over my hip line. What are you gonna do? You're gonna lift. Look at this. When I start to lift, he starts to lose the contact with the floor. Even if he tries to keep his right knee on the mat and his left knee on the mat and his right foot on the mat, it's gonna be tough because he's floating over my hip. What I do now, I just need stretch my leg, and then this is gonna be the way we're gonna end. He gonna falls down. So after he falls down, we have the sleeve and we have the hand on the collar. Pretty important. If I try hold his hip by stepping, it's gonna be tough because I cannot come up. My knee is not on the floor. So my bottom knee, I should touch the mat. My foot will support me, and I will come up doing a pendle with my outside leg. So the movement right after I sweep him, I will bend and do a pendle coming up. What happened here? As I have this knee and leg actually smashing his biceps, if he tries to come up, I'm gonna stuck his movement. We can have a battle in that situation where I'm gonna release the sleeve and we're gonna both come up. But for me, it's pretty easy. Get the side control. So the main thing you should take care is about after you sweep, you're gonna bend your bottom leg and you're gonna do a pendle with your outside leg, bending both legs. Look at here. I can stay on that position. The problem is if you stretch your outside leg and he come up, you don't have base to your back. So you're gonna fall down, you're gonna like fight hard to stay on the top. But if you like create that kind of posture, I can say like to come up is gonna be pretty easy. Even if he tries to come up, you are half on the top. He's not moving my body anymore. All right, and I can boom, hug the head. The second idea when I sweep him is about apply the arm bar. But which is the difference between the first finishing variation for the second finishing variation? Is the action my opponent takes to not accept the sweep. So if he tries to turn to the side control, I will come up, bending my both legs, and then holding the position. But if he tries to turn to outside, maybe escaping to a third position or just spinning around, I can take the arm bar. So remembering the details here, we are playing flow lasso or we are playing deep lasso, whatever. So just remember, respect these steps. First thing, bring my knee down, but my knee always pointing my opponent shoulder. I hug, place my foot on the mat, and start to square my hip properly. So I'm in a perfect position. Hand on the collar, as I talked in the beginning, as I talked before, this hand will supporting me. So the action is different. It's not about holding, it's about bringing him over my own hip. So second thing to remember, my knee towards my chest, bringing his whole body over my own body, head to head, hip to hip. This De La Riva hook, I will stretch right after he get over me. I will stretch my leg to my diagonal side over my shoulder, this leg on the floor supporting me, so I have a base on the mat, something which can use leverage. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, use leverage. I mean, right.
Yeah.
I just learned that expression. It's pretty nice. Use leverage. So I have collar, sleeve, body is working properly. I bring him and I stretch. So instead with he falls down. He gonna try to turn to outside. So what I do? I should leave the collar, because if I hold the collar, it's gonna be tough to swing my leg over, because my idea is apply an arm bar. So when I leave my collar, I should leave when I leave the collar. I should leave the collar while I'm swinging my leg over. Because when I'm swinging my leg over, the idea here is not like lock my legs. It's just about wide open my hip and then bring my bottom knee. No, it's not a bottom knee. The inside knee is slide my inside knee over my opponent's body, pinching legs. Knee is working properly because it's knee to knee. My hamstring is controlling his shoulder. I already have my hand on sleeve, so I can set up a perfect armbar. I can switch to a wrist control. My hand, like my sleeve grip, is supporting me, so I control the hand one. The second one, I control the wrist. I posture up. While I'm posturing up, I'm finding a perfect angle to apply the armbar. So not remember, but this is the first time we're talking about. Armbar is about you control the shoulder to break the elbow. If you control the elbow, you can break the wrist. So I just learned that concept. If you want to apply armbar, you should control the shoulder. You should control the omoplata to be able to break the elbow. All right. So the idea is bring on diagonal, not straight. So the people lose armbar because they imagine that the thumb should point into the sky and he should bring a hip up, so he can move his elbow already. So if you bring his thumb on diagonal and you lift your hip on diagonal too, you can finish in a properly armbar, right? So you have a sweep that you use a reverse La Riva and you bring your opponent over your shoulder. I gave to you two options. The common options which happen when we are training: the guy turn to outside, trying to spin and come up, obviously, or when you sweep, the guy try to turn into you, like escaping from the side control side, right? So you have options right now to work with that kind of position, right? This position is gonna be maybe the most famous sweep I do from the lasso hook position. I use this or that. This. I use this sweep on my last World Championship. I swept Cyborg and it became famous after that. Of course, Cyborg is a tough guy, but this position is very plastic and very beautiful. So the details are basically the same from the last sweep I showed, because when you are playing guard, as I said before, so it depends on which reaction your opponent has. Like if he gonna place the knee on the mat, the inside knee, the outside knee, if he gonna stand up, and in that case the guy stand up to pass guard on the feet, and we should hook the butt. This is the main detail. But I want to remember as well a lot about the straight line we're gonna use to be more effective and powerful in the bottom. So we know how to do the both guards, the both ways of lasso in a perfect form. So we have here full lasso. This is my guard, full lasso. What I do? So if my opponent place knee on the mat, I have options. for both sides. But right now, I want to sweep him, and he doesn't have a knee. How can I do that? I should bring my hook. Always remember about how square your hip is straight, so it cannot turn even on the top. On the top is harder. If I do my hooking movement wrong, so my body is too exposed for him start to smash me, because I don't have like the same kind of connection with my opponent because he's on the feet. So I cannot make this first step wrong. So remember about the frames we are talking since the beginning: hand on the collar, elbow tied on the body, back of my hand touching my own leg. So we are here doing a. Can you turn a little bit to the side? Yeah. We are playing here a perfect lasso guard, flow lasso guard. What are we gonna do? We're gonna move just a little our hip, to get prevent ourselves while we are getting the deep. While we are getting the lasso. While we are getting the hook on the butt, because as I prevent myself just turning my hip and my body a little while I'm hooking his butt, my knee is still pointing to the ceiling. So what happened here? As I'm hooking his butt, I'm controlling his hip a little bit more. There is a difference in the position between you hook the knee and you hook the butt. When he is on the floor, can you place one on the floor? The left, the other one? Yeah. I can hook behind the knee because he's light on the top and his hip isn't heavy. Heavy in the position is his knees. His knees is like working tight to block my movement. When he is on the top, I should hook his butt, because while I'm hooking his butt, I can keep his body connected on my knee. If I hook his knee, I'm opening my knee, and I can't find the perfect angle to sweep. So as I talked since the beginning, we should work in a straight line. We cannot work wide opening our knees because we're gonna make us weaker during the sweep. So we hook the butt, we have the foot on the shoulder. Obviously, we can't just bring him like without this foot giving us support. We can't bring him and try to sweep because he's gonna down his posture, and he's half on my feet already because my hook is on his butt. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna place our foot on the mat exactly in the same way we made before. And normally, when we prepare ourselves to bring him over my body, so the first action our opponent makes is we are not controlling this sleeve. Because as I said in the beginning, when you are holding this sleeve, you should have a support hand. So my left hand was working as a support hand to my sleeve grip. So as I was working with that idea, so if I try bringing his posture towards me, almost 100% of the case, 8 in 10 cases, my opponent bring his butt down, and then it's hard to lift his body weight over my own body. So what I do, if you understand that this arm is making the whole job by framing my movement, so he's stretching his